What up? What up? What up? What up? We're back. We're gonna get into these puppy drafts again. Every single day we're doing them or doing some sort of draft, and I say that because you can see it right here. It's a sad looking day. This progress bar is filling up very quick. I'll give it 2 more days max, probably, maybe three. 81% full. So we're gonna keep getting into these while we can. I don't think I forgot. I still owe you guys a Best Ball Mania draft, and we'll do that once this fills up completely. I just want to get as many of these in as I can. So if you want to get into any of these while you can before it fills up, hop on the UnderdogFantasy.com. Your first deposit from $10 to $100 will get matched 100%. So if you put in $100, you'll get another $100 in that same minute or same second, really. And you can get into 40 of these if you can hurry up and have the time to. If not, there's plenty of other types of drafts you can get into. But use code FFX54 right above my head, right below my head. Name of the channel, like, subscribe, ring the notifications so you get notified when I'm streaming. But we're going to hop into this and see what we can do. I'm really just looking to have fun today. Obviously I want to kill these. I want to kill this draft. I'm always looking to do that, but I don't know. There's something about today that we're just gonna get in here and have some fun. That's our goal today. Maybe today's the day that we win. Maybe that's the name of the game. But you see it up here. We reloaded the funds. We had to. And we'll keep doing that until, whatever it takes to get into at least one stream draft per day indefinitely. I don't know what we're going to do during the season, but we'll probably switch the channel over to once the season starts. We'll probably do weekly rankings. I'm thinking we'll have like a tight end video on like Tuesday. We'll do like a running back video or maybe like a quarterback video on Wednesday, then like running back, wide receiver Friday, Saturday, something like that. That's probably what we'll end up doing, because I know for me, like last year, I loved watching weekly rankings because it really helps you out with waiver wire and trades and seeing where the value is. And if you guys find value, in my opinion, then it'll be worth the watch, and we'll try to get something special going for that. I do want to come up with rankings before the season as well. I don't really know when people usually... When do people usually do, like, redrafts? Is that, like, August? After preseason. No shot. For a day or two after the final preseason game. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but it's kind of late. August 26th. Okay. Yeah. So that's about what we said. So we'll probably look to do some ranking videos in, I guess, like late July probably. We'll start going. Those are a little bit more than these streams. You have to prep a little bit more, and I want to make sure I'm doing, I'm really putting a list together that I believe in and that you would hopefully find some value in as well. So we'll get some set up for that as well. And that'll be like a little kickoff to the ranking videos. But this draft right now, I mean, until then, we're going to do drafts every day on this channel as much as we can. We'll do Underdog as the majority sometimes for my office league. And I have multiple friend leagues that I do. We'll stream those as well. On my one friend league, we probably won't be able to. We'll probably have to censor that out a little bit because, I don't think many people should be hearing what they have to say. And you know how it be. But I definitely want to stream those because I think there is a different strategy to redrafts, and I don't know. I think it's just a whole different strategy than what this best ball is. So we'll probably do that for maybe like 3 extra leagues. The one league we do is kind of high dollar, and it's high dollar, and there's a pretty good amount of us that take it pretty seriously. So it's always fun to go up against some good competition. And that is not the league that I was talking about having to censor. You can clearly tell that league is. I mean, at the end of the season in that league last year, my team ended up being like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. Who did I have at running back? Najee Harris, Austin Eckler. Like, dude, these guys did not, and they know it. If they're watching, they know it. They did not know what they were doing, so I was getting dumb trades. But I ended up losing to a kid that I don't know how he got the team he did, but he drafted Deebo Samuel, Cooper Kupp, Jonathan Taylor, and Justin Jefferson, which seems completely ridiculous when I say it back like that. But at the beginning of the season, like no one knew, other than Justin Jefferson. Jonathan Taylor was like a higher candidate, but he was like no one knew Cooper Kupp and JT and Deebo were gonna pop off the way they did, and he just kind of got lucky. So I mean, he did win, which I mean that team is like, how are you gonna beat that team? Although I will say, I outscored him in points, so that's something, right? Jonathan Taylor falls to us at 8. I don't really love 32. Like, there's no value at quarterback at 32, though. Yeah, no. We'll go with Russell Wilson. Throws for touchdowns. Hell yeah. If you watched my video yesterday, you probably know why I was a little hesitant. I don't love, just for the fun of it, I don't love drafting like very similar teams, but at the same time, it's almost like for Superflex, I feel like a lot of my teams are similar because in the first round, I'm targeting Lamar Jackson or I like Russell Wilson usually falls to me. So I end up with those two players a lot. And we're definitely going to be looking for another quarterback on the way through. So it will probably be somewhere around this Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr range again, which I really don't even want that again. But I really don't want Trevor Lawrence. I don't want anyone in that range. I think Matt Ryan is, love the name. Think he's a lot better than Carson Wentz. Think the Colts will do pretty well next year, but it's not MVP Matt Ryan that we're looking at here. This is Grandpa Matt Ryan. And I don't really know if I want to grab, like, I don't know if grabbing Justin Jefferson is worth setting myself up to have to draft Grandpa Matt. Definitely don't want Daniel Jones. Jameis Winston I like him a little bit. What pick is he? But like I like him to be my third quarterback, not my second. So we still might grab him, but if one of these two teams goes Jamar Chase, then we can end up with a Matthew Stafford or Trey Lance, which I would be very excited about. Like I said, I have a lot of Aaron Rodgers, a little bit of Derek Carr. He goes Trey Lance, so we're really hoping Captain Morgan goes Jamar Chase right here. He doesn't. Lovely. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go Derek Carr, kind of switch it up a little bit. I really like Derek Carr's offense is looking so good. I got Dak Prescott yesterday, but yeah, he's looking so good that I definitely want a piece of that. You know, Aaron Rodgers is getting up there in age. I still think he'll do great this year, but you know, and I already said I have plenty of exposure to Aaron Rodgers, so I am looking for that Derek Carr pick, and hopefully Devontae Adams falls to us. It's possible, but very unlikely. Very unlikely. Is it even possible? I guess it's a little bit possible, but very unlikely. So other than him, we would be looking at like Tua, CeeDee Lamb, Joe Mixon, DeAndre Swift, Deebo Samuel. We would have definitely went Deebo Samuel if we got Trey Lance. But let's see what's happening over here. Okay, so a little run without quarterbacks, which is not bad. Stephon Diggs goes. Justin Fields goes. Yeah, so Devontae Adams is going to get picked. There he goes. Okay. I'm just going to wait and see. I feel like these people are kind of drafting all over the place, so I'm not even going to try to guess what we're going to get shaken out. I feel like our pick is going to be pretty obvious to us, but we'll just wait and see. I mean, the only decision I have to make most likely is running back or wide receiver. Do I want the elite running back or do I want the elite receiver? I asked that question and don't know the answer yet. We'll figure it out as we get there. If Mark Andrews fell to us, I guess we would take him. If Tua falls to us, I'll definitely take him. For sure. Dalvin Cook goes. Mark Andrews goes. Expect Tua to be one of these next 2 picks. So right here, Tua will probably go. Sir, please pick. Tua goes. Okay, so there's 2 players I have in mind. Do I want Trevor Lawrence? Not really. I either want DeAndre Swift or Mike Evans. I just am trying to figure out who I want more. And I really do think I want Mike Evans more. I think Mike Evans is going to have a year. It's looking like Chris Godwin's injury just keeps getting delayed. So obviously the longer he's out, the more productive Mike Evans is going to be. Even when Chris Godwin comes back, Gronkowski, he announced he was retiring. So we'll see if that sticks. I would not be surprised if he is just leveraging the threat of retirement to get a bigger contract. He's done it before. When he thought he was getting signed to the Lions, he said he was retiring and then said psych. So, Gronk could come back, but the offense with Gronk and Chris Godwin, I still am cool with Mike Evans, but without both of them, man, I love Mike Evans. So we're going to go with him. I thought about Trevor Lawrence. I thought about DeAndre Swift, which those are the next couple picks. I think DeAndre Swift is kind of in a similar situation as Mike Evans, not in the sense of injury, but just in the sense of they were both very productive when they were on the field last year, and they're primed to take another step from even where they were. So that's why that decision was a little harder for me, but I do like Mike Evans a lot. I think it's more likely that Mike Evans pops off than it is that DeAndre Swift does. I know who I want, but I get him. Leonard Fournette's not stacked. For some reason, I thought we had Tom Brady. I should have had Tom Brady. Do I want Lenny? Yeah. Yeah, we want Lenny right here for sure. So we have Lenny and Mike Evans. That doesn't really bother me at all. The only thing that Lenny has that could bother you is potential for injury, but I'm not too worried about that. Maybe we go with like a Rashad White later on just to give us some insurance, but even that I haven't been super into doing lately. I mean, I did it yesterday with Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram, but getting the insurance back, I think you have a lower ceiling than if you were to go get someone else's backup. Because if it worked out to where both your guys, like your RB1, like let's just say Leonard Fournette, stayed healthy, and then you grab someone like Mark Ingram, then now your ceiling's way higher because if Lenny stays healthy, then both of them are producing as opposed to one or the other. So that's the thought behind Lenny. And then I'll probably try to go another running back in 8 picks. I want to say I definitely will try to go another running back in 8 picks. Although Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy are coming up. Where's Jerry Jeudy? Jerry Jeudy's 71. We haven't even pulled up the big board yet. My bad. Jerry Jeudy's 71, so we will get another pick before him. So yeah, we'll do running back here and then try to get Jerry Jeudy on the way back through. I think that's the play here. Last time I drafted Russell Wilson, which was yesterday, I did a Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick stack, double stack with him. So this time we're going to try and switch it up and do a Jerry Jeudy stack, potentially a Tim Patrick double stack. But we'll just have to wait and see because, I mean, if Cortland Sutton falls to, I know I'm going back on what I said, but if Sutton falls to us at ADP 60 versus 71, like, I don't know. I might have to take him. Terry McLaurin just got his contract today. Lands 3-year extension 2 hours ago. There it is. 71 million. He's top 5 highest paid wide receiver in the league now. So, if he had a better quarterback, I'd be smashing that. And even, I mean, he's had horrible quarterbacks his whole career, and he's been doing really well. So, honestly, Carson Wentz might be the best quarterback that he has had. But now he has Jahan Dotson in there, who is, an elite talent coming in. I wouldn't be surprised to see if he takes some touches away from him. Right here, we'll probably be looking for James Conner. That would be my preference. The only debate is there's two debates. One, if I want to get Darren Waller for the stack with Derek Carr. And two is, do I want to go Jameis Winston if he's available? Because it would be nice to have 3 quarterbacks, but I mean, there's so many people available here that I feel like I have to. Damn, so he does go James Conner. Oh, this is rough. I really want Jameis. But because we have Derek Carr, we're going to go Darren Waller stack. This is really the last stack. I mean, I guess you could get Hunter Renfrow. I lied. Not the last stack, but I don't know. I feel like I'm putting myself in a situation where I was going for either a Russell Wilson stack or Derek Carr. Because since I got Darren Waller here, I kind of want to grab a running back in this, in 6 picks. But I probably shouldn't. I probably should just get Cortland Sutton or Jerry Jeudy. Man, I don't know though. What's my next pick? It's 80 and 89. What are the running backs we're looking at? Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs is falling. What the hell? I got to stop picking him, honestly. Because I just keep. Let's just wait and see. Okay, Zeke goes. Okay, Zach Wilson goes. Man, this is not pretty. This may surprise you. I want DJ Moore. I mean, if I don't know what the odds are that the Panthers start the season with, what's his name? Sam Darnold as a starting quarterback. Like, I just can't see that happening. So, if he gets any upgrade, he's going to be incredible. Even without an upgrade, he's going to be, like, he's proven that he is an elite receiver that's been in a horrible situation, much like Terry McLaurin, actually. So, if that plays out and if he starts producing, then Mike Evans and DJ Moore might be a lethal combination. Like, you could see, like, if DJ Moore popped off and ended up being like a top 5 receiver this year, you wouldn't be able to say you were surprised. All of his catalysts are there. They're all there, and it's just ready for him to fire up and show that he's as elite as he actually is. So I do like the pick, and I do like the range of running backs that we're coming into. It's just a matter of which ones I want. Because they all have their caveats. They all have their issues. The receiver value falling to us is insane right now, though. We might have to just punt running back again. Because eventually let's see what this looks like on the big board. Eventually all these running back teams are going to have to stop drafting running backs. Like he only has one receiver because he drafted 2 running backs. He drafted 3 running backs and only has 1 receiver that isn't going to play for the first 6 weeks. He drafted 3 running backs and has 1 quarterback. Like, yeah, you can draft 2 running backs, but you're gonna have to stop eventually. Like you're gonna have to switch it over. So we're about to be up, and we still have some crazy value. So we're gonna go. Oh my god, if we can get Jerry Jeudy too, that would be sweet. I mean, even if not, we'll take Gabe Davis. Let's just see what Waffle does. Waffle. Yeah, we're going Jerry Jeudy. So we still get the Jerry Jeudy stack, and his ADP was 72. So we get Jerry Jeudy and we get Darren Waller for both having a single stack with both of our quarterbacks. Leonard Fournette and Mike Evans are here along for the ride. So we're feeling pretty good right now. Oh, and DJ Moore. We don't need a tight end till I'm gonna punt them to the last 2 rounds. My theory is if you invest a draft pick on a tight end in the first 5 rounds, just punt that shit. Like don't like you're betting on the people that you get in these first 5 rounds at the tight end position. You do not need to go for a backup till way later, or else it's almost like a waste. And that's how I feel about drafting 3 quarterbacks in the beginning. Like Jared Goff, like maybe I should have grabbed someone there, and we'll just see. We'll have to learn, see what happens. But I feel like if you draft, like I feel like you have to if you're going for the first place prize, I feel like you have to draft in a way that you bank on every one of your starting players is healthy for the whole season and pops off. There's definitely something to be said about depth, especially when you get into positions that people get injured more. But like I might regret not grabbing a 3rd quarterback before the drop off, but I just don't care right now. We're gonna go AJ Dillon though. Or do we want Antonio Gibson? We want AJ Dillon. I believe in the player a lot more here with AJ Dillon over Antonio Gibson. It's very possible that Antonio Gibson scores more points throughout the season. And you could get an insurance back in Brian Robinson, I think is his name. The new rookie in Washington. I feel like I have to look that up now just to make sure I'm not wrong. Where is he? Brian Robinson, yeah. So you could draft him as like the last round to give yourself some insurance, which I do kind of like that, but I would bet on the talent of AJ Dillon over Antonio Gibson if I have the option. If I have the option. Now see, that's the thing though, is like that's why I never draft Antonio Gibson, because you have AJ Dillon in front of him and then you have Miles Sanders after him. And I believe in both of those players way more. If I have to make the choice between Antonio Gibson and CEH, I'm picking Antonio Gibson every single time. Every single time. I don't own a what? I don't own a single CEH. What is this guy? Is this guy throwing? Is this guy throwing or is he just bad? I mean, Carlos Hyde, like what is that? I don't even think he's ranked. Carlos Hyde. Doesn't even have an ADP. Tony Pollard picked way before his ADP. Davis Mills picked 30 picks ahead of his ADP. DeAndre Hopkins, dude, come on. This league might get thrown away. I hope they don't do that. Like, if there's someone clearly throwing, which Bootsy is definitely throwing, I don't, like, do they throw the whole league away, or do they just... I guess you would have to. And just refund everyone their money? I don't know. Well, it doesn't really matter. We're just going to still draft the best draft we can. It's very possible that that's not how they handle it either. If someone knows, let me know in the comments. I don't really know what they would do. This is like the first time where I feel like someone's clearly throwing. I mean, although his first rounds did look solid, like Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, Dalvin Cook, Kenny Stills. That like, dude, come on, not even ranked. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the what what they would do in that case, but doesn't really matter to us right now. Chris Godwin's falling. Russell Gage is getting down here. Hmm. Our running backs are Ken Walker, Damian Harris, Cordero. We're going Marcus Mariota. It's kind of our last season. I mean, our last pick to grab someone that has a starting position already. Baker Mayfield would be my next selection, but I like the running backs in this range more. So I'll just wait to grab a running back here and then just grab Marcus Mariota, who I know has a starting job, at least for the beginning of the season. So we really are looking for some running backs now, though. Probably the next two pick will be running backs. We're picking in 4 picks. This range is really weird when it gets to running backs too, and I would love to hear what you guys like to do here, but I usually go Ken Walker, but he's almost like a total wasted pick if Rashad Penny stays healthy. So now I'm starting to. I feel like in these drafts, you fall in love with certain players, and then you fall out of love with them, and you have like these little like stints of drafting certain players. Like there was a point where I was drafting Ken Walker all the time, and now I'm pulling back. He goes anyway, so we don't have to worry about that. Now it's just between like Damian Harris and Kareem Hunt for me. Damian Harris has a starting role on what it should be a good offense, but Kareem Hunt is just too nice. It's too nice. We're gonna go Kareem Hunt actually. That might surprise some of you. Going Kareem Hunt over Damian Harris. I just believe in the talent so much more, and since I think Deshaun Watson is not going to play a single snap this season, I think they're going to have to lean on Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt way more because it's going to be Jacoby Brissett under center, which you don't want him slinging the ball around a bunch. So more volume is good no matter what, and then more volume also could lead to potential Nick Chubb starter injury, which would lead to Kareem Hunt being like a top 5 back. So I do like this pick, especially with Kareem Hunt and AJ Dillon, because I feel like they're almost like the same player. They're both extremely talented handcuff running backs that also have a workload in some of the downs. So I like having both of them on this team. We're up in 8 more picks. I feel super comfortable with our 3 wide receivers. So I am looking to take another running back here. Now, 8 picks from now is like, wow, Rashad Penny's coming up. He's really coming up. Back to practice. Like, that might be a sneaky pick. Like, maybe I just totally pivot from Ken Walker and just start drafting Rashad Penny all the time. Although I will say I'm a lot higher on Chase Edmonds as most people are. I think that he is going to carve himself out a really nice role in what's probably going to be a very good offense. So I don't know. It looks like I'm gonna have the option to pick between Devin Singletary, Rashad Penny, and Chase Edmonds. And I think I know who I'm gonna pick. But we'll see. I mean, we still have to weather 4 picks here, so it's very possible we don't get them. If I have the option between Devin Singletary and Rashad Penny, that's when it gets tricky for me. I was assuming Devin Singletary was going to go, but okay, so he does go. So now I really do want Rashad Penny. It's kind of interesting how this worked out because I was not drafting Rashad Penny at all. He has shot up in ADP as well. I don't know what he was before, but he was not up here in this range. He was like down here. He was like closer to here. Rashad Penny actually goes. So we're going James Cook or Chase Edmonds, and I said it before, but I think Chase Edmonds is a better player. I think he's better situation. He's probably gonna be like a 2 down back because they have Sony Michel and Raheem Mostert in that offense as well. I don't even and Miles Gaskin, I guess, but someone's gonna get cut. Probably Miles Gaskin. Raheem Mostert's gonna get injured like 30 minutes into the season. So if I'm between James Cook and Chase Edmonds, I'm going Chase Edmonds. I think Ramondre Stevenson is like a boomer bust type of player. I think he could be a league winning pick if you do pick him and he pops off because you're getting him at a really good value. And we saw games from him last season where he just went crazy. It's just a matter of if he gets the touches, which is partial. That's part of the reason why I didn't pick Damian Harris, even though he was higher in ADP than Kareem Hunt. But I think Ramondre Stevenson could, he could be one of those players that, looking back on the season, people are going to be like, how did he drop to pick 129? I mean, obviously hindsight's 2020, and that's easy to do, but I think the talent's there, and I think that the Patriots offense is going to be way better than it was last year. Way better. So the question coming up here is James Cook, if he's still available. Like, do we just lock down the running back position with James Cook and move on? Rachaad White's at 147. Maybe we get him. I'm gonna try something. Yeah, I'm gonna try something here. If I have the opportunity. Because there's a pick I should make and a pick that I'm going to make. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take James Cook as well. And what that's going to do, usually I would okay, so the way I draft most of the time is I try to keep a pretty balanced team so that when I'm in a situation where a value falls to me, it doesn't really matter what position the value is at. I have put my team in a position to be balanced, and I don't feel like I have to take a certain position, if that makes sense. But what I'm going to do here is just draft 5 running backs in the middle tier, just like in that middle section. Let's pull this up. You'll be able to see it better. Where are we at? Right here. So, yeah, you can see it. The last 4 or 5 picks have been all running backs. Because I think the drop-off after Chase Edmonds, because really Chase Edmonds is lower in ADP, the drop-off after him in the running back position is like almost worthless unless there's an injury. So we're kind of locking down these handcuff running backs, these super talented handcuff running backs, and we could be done with running back from here on out. Like, I probably won't take another running back. We took Darren Waller early, so that puts us in a situation to not have to take a tight end either. We took Marcus Mariota, so we're done with quarterbacks. So what we can do is for these next like honestly like 5 picks straight, we just hammer wide receiver and just kill that by volume. We just get a bunch of receivers that can pop off, and maybe they can piece together a season that will be equivalent to someone a little bit better that we could have picked here in this running back run. So I took that running back knowing I went a bunch in a row, but I'm trying to set myself up to just hammer some of these wide receivers. And it's a strategy I really don't do that often, and I like trying out a bunch of different things because, when the season's over and I see what teams did better, I'm going to remember my strategy. Like, I'll be able to see what I was thinking during that strategy, and then I'm going to I'll be able to take note of what strategies worked out better. I mean, obviously there is a little bit of luck in just how people get injured and last the season, but I mean, you can't really plan for that. So we're just going to plan based off a strategy and see what the results give us. These wide receivers are gross. We're taking wide receiver, though. I mean, I guess we could take like a Robert Tonyan and just literally hammer wide receivers for the rest of the draft. Or do we take Ooh, this is what we're gonna do. We had Tim Patrick available to us for the double stack with Russell Wilson, and we didn't take him. We ended up taking, I think it was Kareem Hunt or James Conner. Or Chase Edmonds. But either way, Um, since we didn't get the double stack there, we're gonna go for the double stack with Albert O. Maybe I could have waited to pick him. Like, he might have fallen to me a little bit later, but I don't want to risk it. I want him the most, and the receivers up here are just kind of gross to me. So I'm okay with securing the guy that I definitely want, because now each of our tight ends are stacked with our quarterbacks. Derek Carr, Russell Wilson, Darren Waller, Albert O. And then we have the double stack with Russell Wilson and Jerry Jeudy. So I actually really like the way that played out, and it kind of got me through a section of the draft that I just am not fond on for wide receivers. And now that I picked a decent tight end, we are literally going wide receiver for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds. 6 rounds in a row, we're going wide receiver. 6 in a row, we're going wide receiver. So we can start to queue them up if we want to, but why bother? I don't know. I might just go Mecole Hardman here if he's available, just based off of value. The player I really would like is Jahan Dotson. I think he has a higher ceiling. If you're doing super flex drafts and you want before, like in the next couple of days before Deshaun Watson has his punishment revealed, you can get a value on Jacoby Brissett, and you can pick him at like 160, and you can get a starting quarterback down here, which there aren't other starting quarterbacks this low in super flex. So since the value fell to us, I mean, we could take Rashad White because that's a value as well, and we have Lenny, but we're going with what we said. We're going to take all wide receivers for the next 6 rounds. Mecole Hardman is the only wide receiver, not including Travis Kelce, the only wide receiver that Patrick Mahomes kept, because he got Juju Smith, Steelers, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Green Bay, Sky Moore, rookie. So Mecole Hardman is going to have 2 weeks, probably 3 weeks, where he has 100 yards and a touchdown, which is what we're doing here. We're kind of killing by volume. We're going to pick 6 in a row, or I guess 5 now in a row. So he doesn't have to produce a score by himself. He just needs to piece it together with the other 5 we're about to pick, which kind of allows me to pick more of like the speedster, over the top spike week candidates, because you just need one of them to pop off. So when I say that, I'm talking about like a Van Jefferson, a KJ Osborne, a Mecole Hardman, George Pickens, even. I don't like Robbie Anderson just because I don't like him. He just sucks, honestly. I don't even like he tweeted about how he was going to retire. Like, I'm not trying to pick someone that doesn't even want to play. I don't know what his quarterback's going to be. As soon as I don't know, he's just a diva. So I'm always going Marvin Jones over him. But like, I don't know. I think there's plenty of wide receivers down here that you can get excited about. So that's why I'm okay with shoring up our running back room early and our tight end room early, and our quarterback for that matter, so we can just take a ton. One thing I've noticed is like in certain areas of the draft, there's just like dead spots of certain positions. So don't pick a position just because you feel like you have to. Make sure you like pick the player over the position, unless your team is super unbalanced, and then you might be in a situation where you have to take them. Like, we have to take wide receiver here. But yeah, I don't know. It's a bad position to be in, because like if Van Jefferson goes right here, we're gonna have to like reach all the way down here, which is like all the values out the window. Now, luckily, we still get the value in Van Jefferson. ADP of 161, we get him at 176. So gotta love that, and he fits the mold of just over the top speed guy that can get you 100 yards and a touchdown, exactly like Mecole Hardman, honestly. So that's who we wanted. That is who we wanted. We're in 6 picks. George Pickens is the guy I want. I've said it once. I'm going to say it again. The Steelers know how to draft wide receivers. So I have blind faith in George Pickens just alone, like just for that reason. But in addition to that, he got picked way later because of his off the field, or should I say, honestly, on field issues. I don't know if anyone remembers the video, but look up George Pickens in college beating the shit out of somebody. He's the dude that grabbed the guy by the face mask and threw him into the wall. I don't know if you guys remember that, but he's perfect for the Steelers, honestly. They're all kind of scumbag douchebags. So it makes sense, but that doesn't mean the guy can't play because, I think the Steelers know what they're doing at the wide receiver position. If you look back, Juju was a draft pick. Chase Claypool was a draft pick. Deontay Johnson was a draft pick. Antonio Brown was a draft pick. Like, the list just goes on. They know how to draft wide receivers, so I will definitely take him if I can. It looks like we might not be able to take him, though, so we know who we're grabbing in the event that George Pickens goes. I guess George Pickens or Alec Pierce for that reason. So Alex Pierce goes right there. It's probably obvious who I'm going for if George Pickens gets taken. I just talked shit on Robbie Anderson, so I'm obviously going Marvin Jones if I have the chance. Christopher, if your watch is back, my bad. I didn't even see your chat. Marvin Jones is available for us, so that's where we're going. Christopher says, I think Hooper's a steal. They have no standout receivers, and traditionally they have liked throwing to tight ends, especially the end zone. Ferkser, John. Dude, I remember Ferkser last year popped off like randomly one game, and no one knew who he was. I agree that John got paid out of Tennessee as well. I definitely do like Hooper in the late rounds, and honestly, I might be setting up to grab him. I might just do it because we're talking about it. Pick 200, he's 191. Yeah, we might get him. But no, I agree. I think Hooper's a really good late round tight end pick. I usually go with either him or Braven Jordan. I will give a little pushback, and I'll say that I do think Robert Woods is set up for a really good season. But that being said, just based off of their offense alone, they're going to have a lot more tight ends on the field than most teams just because they're run first. So, yeah, no, I totally agree. Austin Hooper is a great pick. And if he's available, we'll go with him here, especially all right, never mind. Especially because he's like that late. I was going to say especially because these wide receivers are kind of skimming out up here. So now we're hoping for David Bell. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go for David Bell if we can. I think we have someone back viewing here. So Christopher, if this is you, then we just talked about Hooper, and I was actually gonna take him here if I could, but this guy took him. So we're gonna go David Bell. At this point, I'm shooting for Braven Jordan. I just think he's a really good late round tight end. That kind of in the same situation of Austin Hooper. Like, yeah, they have Brandon Cooks, but that's really it. I mean, they have John Mechie as well, and he'll get up to speed after like 7 weeks probably. That's usually how the rookie wide receivers go. So I know Braven Jordan's also a rookie, but the big body is usually a lot easier to throw to right off the bat, just based off a scheme and lesser talented quarterbacks hyper targeting their tight ends just because they're bigger bodies. I do like Hayden Hurst, I will say. I think he's another sneaky late round tight end pick. I've been grabbing a lot. CJ Uzomah, when he was on Cincinnati last year, he had his games where he had close to 100 yards and 2 touchdowns out of nowhere. Hayden Hurst was on the Ravens, so I've seen him play up close, and I mean, he's a really good receiving tight end as well. And if he's going to be the tight end one in a arguably the best offense in the league, then I'll definitely be scooping Hayden Hurst where I can. Um, I think he will go up in rank or in ADP as the drafts go on. So at some point I'll stop drafting him, but as for now, I'm gonna keep drafting him down when he's getting drafted at pick 200. Um, yeah, I think I'm good on running back. I was thinking about Jamal Williams, but should be good. What's our next pick after this? Let's go to the big board. Hmm. Do we have to grab Braven Jordan now? He's picked 211. Yeah, we'll just lock that down. I do like both Curtis Samuel and Wandale Robinson, so for me it'll be hard to pass them up, but mm, yeah, I mean this tight end drop off is pretty ugly, but I might just say screw it. Mm. Wandale Robinson is who I'm looking at, but I think what I'm going to do is grab Logan Thomas right here. Just lock down the third tight end. I really didn't need a third tight end, but I feel really good about every other position. I don't think we're getting Braven Jordan, and I think after Braven Jordan, when you're looking at CJ Uzama and Mo Alley Cox, it's a I just don't I don't know. I don't like him as much. I think that Mo Alley Cox could be kind of a sneaky pick this late, but um, I would much rather go with like a Logan Thomas, who I think is extremely talented with a bad quarterback. So I'm gonna pick the talent over the situation in this case. But that means from here on out, I think we have maybe let's see. Okay, so we have two more picks. So yeah, we're just gonna grab two more wide receivers. And we can queue some of these up just to see who we're looking at. If you're in the chat right now, throw something in the comments. I'm actually reading them now. Sorry if it's you, Chris, and I missed it. You have to watch the video back because we talked about it a little bit. But let me know who you like in this range. Whoever's in here. OBJ, I've been backing off of. I've been liking LaVisca Chenault a lot. I've been liking Brian Edwards. I like Byron Pringle, to be honest with you. I think he could throw up some numbers, surprisingly. Um, let's see. I think Velus Jones probably could too, but I probably would pick Romeo Dobbs over Velus Jones. Um, Sterling Shepard, I think he is extremely undervalued. If he's on the field, we've seen him pop off last year for 20 plus point games in full PPR. I don't know what that translates to in half PPR, but I think Sterling Shepard is extremely undervalued. Like I think he probably should be up here, to be honest. I just don't know his health situation right now is the only thing. Coming along in recovery. Started jogging again last week. Oh god. Torn Achilles. Okay. That's why he's so low. No pressure when it comes back. I mean, they have Wandale Robinson now too. Kadarius Toney's going to take a step. I guess it does make a little bit of sense that he's fallen. I didn't even realize he was coming off an Achilles injury, so that is definitely not a speedy recovery by any means. Read the recent reviews of Curtis. At practice is not good. He said he's still sore. Couldn't practice at all. Doesn't bode well rest of the season. Dotson is getting good reviews. Really? Okay. That's actually news to me because I was liking Curtis Samuel just because of how dynamic he is. I think he's extremely capable of huge games. I mean, we saw it in Carolina, but I didn't realize there was a report saying what injury did he have. I mean, I remember he was out all last year, but I don't know with what. And you're right, Jahan Dotson is going to come in. Yeah, I've seen how Jahan Dotson's just kind of like the full package. Like it seems like he's just plug and play, which is also what I've heard about David Bell on the Browns. It's just he has Jacoby Brissett. Two picks away. We got to be careful. Jahan Dotson.
Oh wow!
I didn't realize he was a 16th overall pick. Holy shit. I think David Bell was a second round pick. All right, who we got here? Devin Duvernay, LaVisca. We got 2 more picks. Who do we want? We're gonna go Devin Duvernay. Huge Ravens fan. I'm gonna be interested to see if they start the season or finish the season, I should say, with Devin Duvernay as a wide receiver 2. I feel like they're probably gonna get like a Will Fuller or something. And I actually think James Prochet is gonna get his chance as well. But I'm down to invest in Devin Duvernay just because I have been investing in Laviska Shenault a lot recently. So I'm down to switch it up. Nico Collins was still available. Not really interested. Technically, he probably was a better pick over Devin Duvernay, but yeah, not really interested. Oh, but I was looking up. Yeah, so I mean, David Bell honestly was like, I never picked him ever, never considered it, but I've seen so many reports of how good David Bell looks in practice, so I have been drafting him a little bit more now. So those are the 2 receivers I've heard like great reports from out of, I guess it's not training camp, it's like, I don't know, summer camp. Groin injury, but turned into lower body, whatever that means. Yeah, what does that mean? It sounds like he's still not healed, reporters. Yeah, and like, I don't know. It seems like at best he's going to be a gadget player slash slot or wide receiver 3 with a bad quarterback on a bad offense. So I don't know. I do agree with you. Like, I think when I pick him, my mentality is I'm just looking for 1 week, considering you could get him so late in drafts. But I didn't remember anything about those or hear anything about his injuries, so I probably will be kind of pulling it back a little bit on Curtis Samuel. And I do think there's really good options down here still. Like wide receiver is one of those positions where you can find some winners late. Like Amon-Ra St. Brown, if you look at the old like last year's tournament winners that won like the millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever, pretty much all those teams had late round, like second to last picks. Rounds 15 and 16, they picked up Rashad Penny and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and that won them the league. So, I mean, you could find players like that down here. Like, that could easily be your David Bell or your, I don't know, Romeo Dobbs or someone like that. Like, someone just sneaky that you're not thinking about. Did Byron Edwards is it Byron or Brian? Brian Edwards got picked. That's who I was going for. Okay, we need an audible quick. We'll go Byron Pringle. He's actually he's a wide receiver 2 in Chicago. I do think that Justin Fields takes a step, but I mean, you really can't get any other wide receiver 2s in this range down here. All of these other guys are 3 and 4 options, other than OBJ, but he's not going to be back the first week of the season. He'll probably be healing into the 4th week. And we don't even know where he's going to go. And if he does go to the Rams, like if he goes back, he'll be a 3rd option. If he goes to the Bengals, which there was reports there, he'll be a 4th option. So, I mean, there's really no other wide receiver 2s in this range other than Byron Pringle. The guy who won the DK Millie is drafting Nico on 100% of his teams. Nico Collins? Chris, do you mean Nico Collins? No way. That is definitely something good to know. Who is this guy? Do you follow him on Twitter? Interesting. But where does he fit in? Like what? Like 6'4", 215. I guess he's like a big body possession receiver. NFL comparison, N'Keal Harry. Well, that doesn't make me feel any better. Yeah, I guess he's just a big boy because they have their speedy guys. I don't really know what size John Mechie is, but I don't think he's like a big boy. Bean 4. Okay, I'll look him up. He's on B4 Spike Week. Yeah, I'm definitely interested in Nico Collins now. I guess that's like a whole nother dynamic to this draft is you can just go through and like check. Like I didn't even think about just following the people that previously won and seeing what they're doing. That's a really good idea. I'm definitely going to start considering Nico Collins too. And I will say, I don't know if you agree with this, but I will say that I think Davis Mills is way more underrated as far as fantasy value goes than people want to admit. I don't know if anyone remembers, but Davis Mills had some pretty decent, like pretty respectable games last year in the worst situation in the league. One of the worst. I won't say the worst because Jacksonville is probably way worse, but one of the worst situations in the league. And I don't know. I think he could put up some numbers, and that's why I've been investing in people like Braven Jordan. I have been taking John Mechie. I would definitely take Brandon Cooks. So I mean, I'm definitely considering Nico Collins now. I'll tell you that. Guys, Ford uses day one. Oh, you're trying to make me make a rookie mistake. You almost got me, Felix. You almost got me. Had to read that one twice. The only reason I knew that you're trying to get me there is because never heard of him. Never heard of him, but I appreciate that you showing some support here. Yeah, I did know Mechie was recovering from an ACL, but I also know he went to Alabama when was a first or second round pick, if I'm not mistaken. But see the talent, practice support. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna look him up a little bit more. And I'm interested to see how long John Mechie's going to be out for because he is a lot younger than some other people recovering from the same injury. And I know he tore his ACL, or I won't say I know, but I'm pretty sure he tore his ACL in December. I think. And I don't want to say compare him to Cam Akers because that was a ridiculous recovery time. But I mean, sounds like John. I mean, with the torn ACL, John Mechie will probably be out for like 6 weeks into the season. So no, that's some good food for thought. I appreciate that because I will definitely be considering him now. And that's like, I don't know. That's just why I go through these phases of picking certain players just constantly, and then I'll just like fade away from them and come back. And it's kind of the fun part about doing these drafts constantly in the off season when you're getting these like little reports that are affecting your drafts an insane amount. And when we're drafting during like before a lot of this dust settles, we can definitely get some really good value. And like you said, like Nico Collins could be the Amon-Ra St. Brown of this year. It's very possible. Very possible. Because when John Mechie comes back, he's not going to be 100%, and he'll still be a rookie. So that's very interesting. Very interesting insight. But our team here, we actually got another good projection. This is actually pretty decent for Superflex. 2747. I'm not gonna put much weight into projections ever. I honestly don't know what the hell they mean and how they come out. But our final team was Russell Wilson, Derek Carr, Marcus Mariota at quarterback. None of the same by our running backs are Leonard Fournette, AJ Dillon, Kareem Hunt, Chase Edmonds, James Cook. I love getting a bunch of back-to-back running backs in the middle tier range and just having them share the roles. I love that. We have 2 of these scores count per week and potentially a flex. So between these 5 players, I'm very comfortable that they can put up some numbers. Our wide receiver room, our first 3 look really good. Mike Evans, DJ Moore, Jerry Jeudy. We got Jerry Jeudy at a really good value and was able to stack him with Russell Wilson. Mike Evans, top 5 receiver this year. DJ Moore, top 12. Top 10. And then our kind of backup tier, I guess you could say, in wide receivers are McCole Hardman, Van Jefferson, Marvin Jones, David Bell, Devin Duvernay, Byron Pringle. So we stuck to what we said. We just drafted a bunch of speed guys that can get over the top and come out with a surprising fluke 100-yard game, 1 touchdown game. And then our tight ends are Darren Waller, Alberto, both stacks, and then Logan Thomas is our third. So I really like that team. I wanted to have a little bit of fun today, but we ended up drafting a pretty solid team. We're definitely learning just in time for this super flex to fill up. If we look at what it's looking like right now, it is looking scary, 82%. We might have to do another draft tonight. I'm not too sure, but I might do a late one. If not, we'll try to do like 2 tomorrow. Hopefully they're still up tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it during the day, and if it starts to fill up, I'll probably just start cranking them out during the day, off stream. But I'm gonna stream as much as I can. We'll continue to release at least one per day. When the Superflex puppy draft fills up, we're gonna keep drafting. I do owe you guys a Best Ball Mania, and other than that, we'll get us to some 12-person drafts. But yeah, so until tomorrow, I appreciate you guys coming out. We hit our highest view count to date yet. So, I mean, and we actually had an active chat today. So thank you for that. That was really fun. Really cool. But until tomorrow, I'll see you guys. Everyone have a good night. Potentially see you again tonight, but probably not. Even if I make the video, I might hang on to it and release 2 tomorrow. But we'll see. We'll see. I will be streaming every day, though. So I'll see you guys. Everyone have a good night. Peace.